You got down a Legion of Doom fucking wormhole, bro.
Fucking watched Arrival this weekend.
Yes. I want to talk to you about this movie. I love this movie.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Because
Arrival.
I think I'm on the opposite side of popular opinion. Tell me what you thought of Arrival. Spell the story out for anybody. Hey, for everybody, spoilies. Spoilies.
We need that sounder for our fucking soundboard, bro.
I'm going to take I'm going to take 10 seconds right now. 10 seconds. Turn off the goddamn podcast if you're going to get pissed off about somebody spoiling a movie for you.
No, we're not going to take... Fuck
exactly.
You. If you... Fuck these fucking
tell
people.
Tell me how the movie ends.
Who gives a shit?
Tell me your story.
It ends with the fucking... I gotta... You can't just dive into the ending because there's so much to the movie.
No. I can fucking spell this story out in fucking 3 seconds because it is bullshit. You tell me your good view.
It's about how time is not linear in the world of aliens because they see time as a continuum, as a circle. And if you learn their language, you don't view past tense, present tense, or future tense because it's a movie about language, essentially. It's a lingual movie. You see it only as constantly present. You see everything as happening now, whether it happened 100 years from now or 100 years in the past. It's all part of the not linear, but the circular viewpoint of time. That's what the fucking movie's about.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you at all. Like, that is what the movie's about. Now, I have 2 problems with this film.
Okay.
Point A being that I was sold that this was The Martian 2.0.
Well, who sold you that? Who told you that? Where'd you hear that?
The goddamn Oscars.
Why did because it won an award? That's why?
No. But everybody I talked to told me like this is the movie of 2016. Like this is the movie that matters. It's the best thing ever.
It's a great fucking movie.
I hated it.
It's not The Martian. The Martian's a different movie.
I fucking hated it. So there's 2 points. So I came into it being like, this is going to be the next Martian. This is going to be the next, what is that Matthew McConaughey tube time travel movie?
Interstellar.
Yeah. So I thought this was going to be the next Martian. I thought this was going to be the next Interstellar. And I went into it watching it that way. Then,
this is a much different movie, bro.
Then this bitch meets some...
Why do you have to say that's... Why do you have to say it like that?
Then this dude... Then this cocksucker, then this motherfucker. Well, I don't give a shit. Pick
We have found the witch, may we burn
Pick. All right, go ahead. Pick any term. This motherfucker.
Are you talking about Forrest? Who are you talking about? Forrest Whitaker?
Oh no, I have a whole different argument about Forrest Whitaker's lazy-eyed ass.
Who are you talking about? I gotta know who motherfucker bitch tits is.
What's her name? Goddamn, not allowed on Doug Loves Movies.
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams. No, I'm not against her as a person, but this woman goes in and meets a 5-legged elephant and spends 18 months, according to the story, figuring out how they communicate with coffee stains. So you know when you put your coffee cup down on some paperwork and you leave some coffee stains, that circle with some weird edges? She interprets that for 18 months and then all of a sudden gains superpowers where she can read the future because she finally understood what coffee stains were.
That's totally incorrect.
That is exactly what happened.
You're really...
that is exactly what happened in that movie.
Not seen the movie for what it is. There's a lot of things about...
Like, aliens show up and they show her a bunch of coffee stains. And she's a linguist, so she interprets the coffee stains. And eventually she builds a computer system. We know that because she was running counter... Like she was responding with coffee stains.
No, but you're not. What you're doing is you're jumping all over the place.
No, I'm not. No, okay. So from the beginning, I put the story out.
She does read
too long. Didn't read out front.
Language.
I spelled out my conclusion in the beginning. So I'll tell you why I believe this. Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong. She's a linguist. Whatever. Correct. She's a professional language studier person.
Correct.
Aliens show up in, I think, if I'm correct, 18 locations on Earth. And so one of them shows up in like Montana.
Correct.
And they have these weird anti-gravity spaceships. So they take a little man boom up so far into a hole into the spaceship, and then they jump.
Scissor lift.
Yeah, man lift, scissor lift, whatever you want to call it. And then at a point they jump, and now all of a sudden they're part of the ship's gravity. They walk into a room that's void.
By the way, that part was pretty cool. I don't know if I don't know how you didn't think that part was cool.
I'm still super excited about that part. I haven't got to the part where they lost me yet. So I'm all in. This is The Martian. This is the goddamn Interstellar. This is the next one. This is the next movie that really blows my mind.
This movie is very different than those, though.
No.
This movie's playing in a much different...
No.
This movie's almost like poetry.
This is about five-legged elephants communicating in coffee stains. They fucking... Okay, so gravity changes...
I don't think you're seeing it for the artwork that it is. It's like art. It's like
no, the same reason Black Swan is not the best movie of the year. Yes, a bunch of artsy fucking motherfuckers say Black Swan is the best thing anybody's ever made. And now 3 years later...
Black Swan was a very good movie.
Yeah, watch it again. Watch Black Swan today and tell me it's not a piece of shit. Yeah.
It's not a piece of shit.
We are over the hype. Yeah, you put out a movie that everybody was excited about and you won Oscars. This year, 3 years later, no one's excited. Fucking, goddamn Amy.
Okay,
Amy
keep
Adams.
walking me through, because I want to figure out where this movie lost you.
So, man lift, they jump, gravity changes. Oh God, alien space shit, alien technology, oh crazy. And they walk down a long ass hallway. They end up in a room. It's an empty room, void of any...
in front of a screen, essentially.
Well,
like a glass, like almost a zoo. Like there's a glass.
Are you telling the story or am I telling the story?
All right, I'm listening.
They walk down and they end up in a room that's void of anything. There's no bells and whistles. There's no back computer. They're in a room and there's a window. And then these five-legged elephant motherfuckers walk up and are like...
Seven legs.
Okay, 7 legs. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I just want to correct the record.
Okay,
so go ahead.
No. Again, I'm not angry. You're right. More than likely. I watched this movie...
Heptapod.
I watched this movie 4 times last night. I watched it over and over.
I've watched it 3 times, but you've watched it one more than me.
I watched it 4 times last night in like one night. Because I go to my girlfriend's house. I can't sleep. Her bed is a sheet of concrete. And I watch the movie over and over again to burn the night away. These 7-legged elephants show up and they spray they spray coffee stains. They spray coffee stains on the sheet of glass that's conveniently set up between humans and 7-legged elephants. It's a weird situation. Welcome to our weird spaceship. Gravity's different here, but we still like conveniently made a sheet of glass where cloudy 7-legged elephants live versus where visitors come. Like they built their own goddamn zoo when they showed up. So they show up.
The entrance. Okay.
Well, I mean, am I wrong? I mean, that's kind of the way it works.
No, I mean, the hallway is the reason it takes 18 hours before people can come in. There's a circular window where the gate opens up and they can come visit them every 18 hours because they're generating Earth's atmosphere so that people can go in there.
It's not Earth's atmosphere. Well, in the way that like it's neon, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and all that in the atmosphere. They breathe.
The reason there's the glass, it's almost more like an opposite of the zoo. Like they have their whole thing, and then there's this little bitty hallway where they can let people come.
None of that's the point, but yes, you are correct. I understand your viewpoint. It is. And
the coffee stains to let people know who haven't seen the movie.
There's spaceship
ink on a glass screen.
Well,
is what it is.
The 7-legged elephants. Their gas mask is their spaceship. And they allow...
By the way, you didn't think they looked more squid-like? They looked more...
They were very squid-like, but I say 7-legged elephant because of the texture of their skin. Yes, they talk to smoky squids for fucking an hour and a half in this film.
Okay, give to me your problem. Okay, I don't see where you fucking lost you.
So we spend... Okay, so we like... Let's break it down. There's like 30 minutes of setup, which I was good with. Setup was good. And then there's maybe an hour of what the fuck is going on? We're communicating with, squid, elephant, 7-legged motherfuckers.
Well, correct. It's a movie about language. It's very much a movie about language.
I was in on all that. And then there was 2 distinct turning points for me. So
yes, I want to get to this. Get to the turning point.
After the first hour and a half of the film. The film is like roughly an hour and a half, hour 45.
No, it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It's a pretty long movie.
Yeah.
And it's also I will admit this, it's a slow paced movie.
Right.
It's a slow burn.
I have no problem with that. I was completely in an hour and a half into this film. I was buying. I loved it. I'm going out to the Walmart tomorrow to buy this film. And then they did like a 10-minute sequence with Amy Adams CGI fucking floating around with music with these alien elephant squid people. That
you're talking about when they brought her into their world.
Yeah. Yeah, that like okay, so maybe maybe the story could have been told better if they used her face.
What a twist!
But it threw me off because it was CGI Amy Adams in Cloudland with 7-legged elephant octopuses.
I know, but that's an effect thing.
I know. No, but for an Oscar, the biggest movie of the year, as a critic, that pulled me out. That's not a story-based thing. That is a they finished the movie this way.
As a watcher, I'll admit it was weird. It did look weird, but it didn't.
Well, it threw me out of the movie.
Away from the meaning.
All of a sudden, I did not believe in the story of the movie anymore.
Well, the whole thing's not necessarily grounded in reality. Bro.
No. But I'm not saying grounded in reality. I'm saying grounded in a story of belief where point A equals point B equals point C equals point D, where they don't lose me because all of a sudden they say Jesus shows up.
But did Rogue One? You watched Rogue One?
No, I've not. I have not seen that. Don't spoil it.
Never mind then.
We will have that conversation on another podcast. But what I'm getting at is the visual effects of this film made me stand back and go like, holy shit, I'm watching a movie. I am no longer part of the story. I am now looking at the
even
CGI.
The heptapods were essentially CGI.
Yeah, obviously they didn't make a 7-legged giraffe elephant.
But it wasn't like super. Like, it wasn't the most realistic thing I've ever seen.
But I bought into Amy Adams on this side of the glass versus the elephant squids on that side of the glass. But when they showed them in the same world,
I'm not even going to disagree with you. I'm going to say you had a minor effects quibble that took you out of the feeling of it.
Exactly. So it's not a huge thing, but it definitely took me out of the story and made me go like, holy fuck, who the hell engineered this CGI? I looked at the technical aspects more so than following the story. Now, the other thing that really fucked me up is, okay, spoilies, turn off your fucking radio. Fuck you if you're
talk about the movie.
If you're this deep into the movie, fuck you. The other problem is, so the whole time she's a linguist for the American side. And there's aliens in Montana, China, India.
Well, she's a
Saskatchewan,
linguist,
whatever.
But
so
everybody's dealing with it. She's on the American side. She was recruited by the Army. I think that's what I just said. She's not on the American side.
I think
she was recruited by the U.S. Army.
I think it's the same thing.
She's not on the American side.
I think you said the same thing 3 times and it all says the same thing.
No, but you're saying she was on the American side. She really isn't on the American side.
No, she's on the American side.
Because the entire time up to it, she's complaining about
There's no political context to this film.
Oh, but there's a huge political context.
I don't think so.
Huge.
I see it as...
You're missing the boat if you don't see that. Because she's arguing the whole time with them. Why aren't we working together? Why are we fighting each other? Why are we trying to cut each other off?
No. But that's not the point. It's not America that makes the mistake. It's China that ultimately draws the line in the film. And China decides, we are done with negotiations. We're going to blow up our spaceship that's on our country. And she goes like, no, China, don't do that. I'm about to have a breakthrough. And then in the meantime, between China deciding that we're going to blow up the fucking one of the 13 spaceships that is on our country versus all the rest of them, there is a geopolitical argument to be had. But she is an American working for the American government, arguing that we should all work together. And as countries pull out, China decides we're going to bomb them. And then this is where it gets all fucked. This is where they tried to create a twist to blow the audience's mind, but it makes no fucking sense. So, I'm
going to listen. I'm having a very hard time with this, but I'm just listening.
Okay, so the summation of the whole story is the aliens write in coffee stains, these circular patterns that all mean different things because of different markings.
Correct.
She figures out the patterns, and rudimentarily in the beginning, before we have the weird CGI Amy Adams, there's a scene where she's on a iPad or something, choosing particular parts to do her best. Now, I'm not saying she's an expert at that point, but she is communicating. She has figured out parts of the system. Then, after the weird CGI Amy Adams part, where they touch her brain, she goes ID4 on the whole fucking thing, and she all of a sudden she's enlightened. She understands the language perfectly. And all of a sudden, this is the problem. This is the rudimentary problem with the thing. She walks out of CGI Amy Adams onto the other side of the glass, back in, or whatever it is, back into real Amy Adams, and she sees herself in the future reading the book that she will write because the aliens taught her that time is circular and not linear. So the idea of having the knowledge that time works differently than you think automatically allows you to see into the future.
That's where
it gives you X-Men. It gives you X-Men powers. All of a sudden, you're Professor X because you think of time working a different way.
So this is
now
where
you can read the future.
That's where I think you're missing. I think you're missing something. It's just me telling you. I think you're missing something.
Difference of opinion,
which is it's not difference of opinion. So there's a very important conversation in the movie between Jeremy Renner's scientist character and her, and it talks about. And I don't know if you've had this experience before or not, but when I was in Spanish 4, my fourth year of Spanish,
you went deep.
There were some people who were, but I just. It was like a way to not take other classes, I think.
Okay, that's
I was
fine.
Never a very fluent Spanish
I hit
speaker.
Spanish 2 and got the fuck out.
Yeah. When I was in Spanish 4, there were people who I was working with who were very, very fluent at that point.
Right.
And those people would talk to me about how they would dream in that language. So there's a conversation between the scientist character and her.
The language you learn, again, we may be talking about the same thing, but there is a point in the movie where they talk about the language you're raised with, the language that you are native to, changes the way it changes the way you perceive the world. It changes the way you think about logic. It changes the way your brain works,
changes the way you think.
Yeah, depending on if it's Spanish, English, Japanese, Icelandic, whatever. It changes your perspective on the world. It changes the way your logic works.
Correct.
So I agree 100%.
So what you were seeing in that movie, what you kind of didn't mention through all the things, is that the whole time you're watching this movie, there's a series of what is perceived to be or seems to be flashbacks.
Yes.
And there's these little vignettes where you go, they think it's a flashback. You don't realize what it is.
The movie opens with Amy Adams handling a baby.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, it's her raising a 5-year-old. And then 20 minutes later, it's her talking to a teenager.
But the thing is, it speeds up. So it's not just 20 minutes. But towards the end of the movie, it's every 5 minutes, every 6.
But the way they're selling it to you before you know that the coffee stains. Yeah, they sell you on a flashback before you know that the coffee stains mean circular time versus linear time. So it's oh shit. The whole movie I've been watching has been the future, not the past. M. Night Shyamalan.
What a twist.
See, and that's where I think you're not to me, it was not supposed to be a twist like that.
I don't think you're respecting.
To me, it was not
a twist.
To me, it was not a what a twist. To me, it wasn't even a twist. To me, it was talking about what they've been setting up the entire time. That's why I thought it was like poetry. I thought that movie was fucking playing at a different level.
Okay. No. I think you might be misinterpreting me with that statement. I'm not saying it wasn't a beautiful movie outside of CGI. The CGI fucked that whole goddamn film up.
No, but I think you're saying it's an M. Night Shyamalan. It's not like The Village where it's they were fucking they're fucking not in the past. They're in the future. It's way different than that.
No. But the way they laid out the story, yes. The way they portrayed and painted and led your mind while revealing information, yes, it was beautiful. I'm not saying it's a shitty film. I'm saying that the goddamn M. Night Shyamalan part of it hey, by the way, if you just think about time being circular, you can read the future.
But that's not what they said.
That's exactly what fucking happened.
No, she immersed herself in a language over a period of 2 years.
No, 18 months was the time frame set out by the film, and
that's fine.
I remember that.
She immersed herself in a language for a year and a half.
Okay, that's fine.
Through immersion over time.
Understand what I'm saying? If you immerse yourself in Spanish for 18 months and you really studied hard at Spanish, do you think you could fucking read the future?
It's not. That's not the point.
That's the outcome of it. She learns.
Their language is different than Spanish.
No, it's not.
Their language does. Yes.
No. In context, it is different. But here's the thing. Here's where I got
not in context.
No, in context. So in context, she understands that this part of the coffee stain means this. That part of the coffee stain means that. We go around the circle. No. We can create a sentence, an idea, and a story. The
whole thing was about if you learn a different language, you think a different way.
No,
and their language
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Future and past are different.
I'm not saying you're wrong. You learn a different language, you think a different way, you understand time and reality differently. That's all fine. I can completely buy into that argument. Where she had superpowers is...
That wasn't superpowers.
Okay, so you're telling me... So the Chinese general was a main character in this film. He decides not to negotiate anymore. He decides he's going to burn... He decides he's going to kill his spaceship or whatever, the one in China, the spaceship in China. He decides he's going to burn down. She calls him and tells him the dying words of his wife, which haven't happened yet. So there is a future context shot where she's at a ball, a gala.
But it's not the future.
No, that is the future. So
it's not.
No,
at that point in the movie, it's not the future or the past.
That is the future.
It is a circle.
No, that is the future. But
it's not the future.
No. The gala she has at the time.
It's the future in your language. In your mind.
No,
but
listen.
It's not the future.
No, stop. At the time in the film that she calls the Chinese general, and they reveal it at the end of the film as we go back to what actually happened. She runs into the clean room and she's on the phone, on a satellite phone, and they track her down and all the guards are coming, but she's speaking Chinese to the Chinese general. We find out prior to that in the future, because of her new knowledge that time isn't linear, time is circular.
But the thing is, I feel like you're saying new knowledge, not new knowledge.
Let me finish.
Not new knowledge.
Let me finish. Because
don't say inaccurate things.
No,
not new knowledge.
In the future, once she is at the point, the Chinese general comes to the gala purposely. He says, I came here to meet you because of what you said to me on that phone call. And she's like,
correct.
I don't know what phone call you're talking about. And he's like, you told me my wife's dying words. And that's correct. That's the only reason I believe you. And then we cut back in time where she makes that phone call. So therefore, she read the future. She doesn't remember that conversation happened. The reason she knows the general's... listen. The reason that she knows the general's wife's dying words are because at the gala, he whispers them
told her
in her ear.
Correct.
Okay, so that happens.
You're still thinking about it in a linear mindset.
That happens in the future. No, I completely buy into the
circular. It happens in the future in a linear mindset. It happens in the future in a linear mindset.
But it's goddamn superpowers.
And past exist.
So everybody else lives on a linear time frame. Everybody else, without the knowledge of, maybe it's circular.
The language.
Maybe.
Which is why she had to teach them the language.
What I'm saying.
The idea of...
What I'm saying is, the knowledge. Okay, so we're ignorant. We're all dumb people. We all think time is linear, and we live our lives that way.
No.
And then I go hey.
Incorrect. Our perspective is different because of our language.
Exactly. No, it's fine. That's fine. But your language, your idea, you live your life today. You and I live our lives on a linear time frame. And you're telling me some goddamn elephant squids show up and go hey, by the way, time's not linear. Think about it.
That's
not
how
circular.
It works.
And
That's
she
what
goes
someone
like,
would call
holy shit.
oversimplification.
Time is circular, not linear. And now she can see into the future.
That's not how that works.
That is exactly what that
She
movie told
spent
me.
18 months in immersion of a language over time.
And now
as
she can see into
learned
the future. Now she's an X-Men.
No.
Okay. At what point does learning a language turn into reading the future? Okay, so maybe
If you watch the
maybe
movie-
I know 5 words in Spanish, but when I know 10 words, I can read the future.
You never dreamed in Spanish. Ask someone who dreamed
At
in
what
another
point
language.
do you have the magical power to read
It's
the
not
future?
magical. It's a different perspective.
It's not a perspective.
You think differently.
Okay, look, you may be a right-wing motherfucker. I may be a left-wing motherfucker, but neither of us can read the future. It's not a perspective. Alien tentacled octopus people showed up, said, hey, we talk in coffee rings, you talk in letters,
love you. I
and
love
now
hearing
she
you
can
trash
read
this
the
movie.
future.
But I think you oversimplified it to a very...
No.
I think you missed the point.
I
is what
respect
think
the
you did.
beauty of what
I
they
think you
try to
missed
say.
I think you missed the point.
I
of
am
the movie.
trying to be on your side. Everybody respects this movie. I'm trying to understand the art of this film. I think it was beautifully shot. I think they paced the movie
No, I don't
beautifully.
give a fuck about the shot.
The
I think it was poetry. I think it was fucking
the
poetry.
CGI threw me out because Amy Adams CGI up close was like, oh well, that's not Amy Adams, that's a computer. So that threw me out.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that.
And part B, Amy Adams has superpowers because she read a bunch of goddamn coffee stains. I watched the movie 4 fucking times. I came up with the same conclusion every time. Yes, you got a different perspective. You learned a new language. But at what point do you get superpowers where you can read the goddamn Chinese general's mind and then tell him what you're going to read? You're going to repeat.
You're oversimplifying it.
No, you can't deny this because this is the core of the film.
No, but I think what you're oversimplifying is the fact that it is set up the entire time.
In the future, the Chinese general tells you his wife's dying words. Then in the past, you call the Chinese general and tell him like, hey, trust me, these are your wife's dying words. And then he believes you because his wife dies. He experiences his wife's dying words. And then in his time frame, he tells you, I came here to see you because you told me my wife's dying words. That is a circular frame of time. She would not have.
That's where you are getting. Now you're coming on.
No, I'm not coming on. I completely agree with the circular time frame. She understands. She knew the Chinese general's dying words because she all of a sudden could read coffee stains. What I'm arguing is the disconnect of time. At what point did she get super fucking powers?
She didn't at one point. It wasn't a slight switch. What you're seeing is like if you, again, the idea of that, first it's 20 minutes in between. Then it's 10 minutes in between. Then it's 7.
I get your
then
point.
It's 5. Then it's 4. Then it's 3.
What you're saying is she had a natural appointment or she had a natural ability or whatever.
There was a natural progression.
Yes, it grew. It grew into like I saw my future. I was having night terrors or whatever, and then these aliens told me how to interpret my dreams.
But not saw my future.
Whatever it is.
I learned a language, and then by learning that language, my thought pattern changed.
No, it doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. This bitch is Rogue from the X-Men. She has superpowers and giant elephant squids from outer space.
I get it because you still think, I get it, man, because you still think time is linear.
No,
but I'm telling you.
I understand the circular sense of time. I loved goddamn Interstellar. We fucked with time in a way that most people have never even studied. Like the average population, their only experience in time
I actually
warping.
had more problems with the Tesseract scenes towards the end of that movie than I did with this
That
one.
is 100% more feasible than bitch learns how to read coffee stains, predicts the future.
Well, I disagree, but it's fine. I mean, you hated the movie.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I respect it. I see what it was, but the crux of the film I didn't agree with, and the CGI I didn't agree with. Because
I mean, I've heard from other people. My wife watched it. She thought it was silly. She thought it was a silly movie.
I did too.
And,
I would agree with your wife. If I was going to dumb it down to just one word, it was silly.
Yeah.
Bitch meets alien seven-legged... bitch meets seven-legged elephants on the other side of the glass. At some point, the bitch becomes magic and reads the future.